Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Doogie, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin, and buddy, friend of mine. We have some interesting matchups here today. Yet another match day in week 2, as today we get to cover HV71 taking on Roots Gaming, and a little bit later on in action, we will see Havu taking on Granite. Two very interesting matchups. How you feeling today, and how you feeling about these matchups?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, HV71's a team that's, looking still for their first win on the season. So going up against the Roots, who, right now on the outside looking in, but want to be part of that playoff picture. So this first one, I think, is going to be a really kind of a chippy matchup between the pair of them. Two teams not where they want to be in the standings, kind of a lot to gain and a lot to lose.
You mentioned HV71, the last team this season without a win. As crazy as that is, we'll see if today is the day for them. And of course, we saw Roots in action not all that long ago. They had a decent little chance of picking up some points, but ran into a very tough matchup earlier this week as they took on our defending champions in H-Reds. With that said, let's get you all a look at these standings, how things are looking at this point in the season. As again, the left-hand side of the bracket is where you want to be upon the conclusion of 30 regular season games played. Those top 8 teams all making their way to the playoffs. And then, of course, I mentioned H-Reds, again, our defending champs, still the only remaining undefeated team. And as we've talked about all season long, there are some surprises, I'd say, on both sides of the bracket to this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a lot of those sort of newer teams in the ECL Elite taking, pretty firm stands on that left-hand side of the bracket. And remember Fedestad, a lot of people said that they would be on the outside looking in of the playoff picture, but that 7-1-0 start is making it look like they are not going to be dropping out of that playoff picture anytime soon. Now, they have kind of had some streaky moments in past seasons where they do really good to start the season, kind of taper off at the end. Hopefully they can sort of sustain themselves throughout this one. But a team we'll see later, Havu, in that positive side with the record now, still looking to kind of gain some steam, because if they were to miss the playoff, that would really send shockwaves through the ECL.
It's happened before in terms of a top team falling down the rankings and not quite being able to recover. I don't know if I'd bet on that happening,
Yeah.
but you still never quite know in this elite division. And of course, we've pointed it out before, a team like YMCA, as far down as they are, technically, I believe, third from the bottom in terms of point percentage so far. Definitely some big surprises as throughout the week we hit a third of the way through this regular season. Today's matchup, though, or at least our first matchup to kick off this broadcast, again, it is HV71 taking on Roots Gaming. Again, as you can see, 11-16 heading into this matchup. And as we get a look at the lineups here for HV71, it is Rubitas, Captain Demski, and Matalaiska on the right-hand side, Zupe and Putaking on defense, Kofalainen between the pipes, and for Roots Gaming, Limu, Captain Lexa down the middle, and Asampi on that right-hand side, Nordsman and Vodi on the right, and Yontas back between the pipes. We saw him in that series against H-Reds, and all things considered, a pretty impressive performance, and despite them losing both of those games.
Absolutely, especially in that first game, he was as close to lights out as you can be against H-Reds, and Roots was just getting absolutely handled, especially in that first period where they had a mere 7 seconds of time on attack. They did kind of get better as that game went on, and they kept it close between for H-Reds, but in that second game, it's all started to kind of fall apart a little bit as they continue to get kind of hounded on the puck, and H-Reds just do what they do best and win that possession game heavily.
So with that, we'll get a look at our head-to-head matchups as we always do. We'll start off with the battle of the centers here and the battle of the captains as well, as you get a look at Demski and Alexa at this stage of the season. And Sin, when talking about this matchup, I mean, pretty much everything is in favor of the Roots center to this point in the season.
Yeah, and the point productions are pretty similar, which in this matchup, we'll have to kind of see where that leads. I mean, Lexa does have the slight advantage in the face-offs and things like that, but I think both of these teams, from a team standpoint, are looking for more production. But it's good to see both of those centers around that point per game mark.
Moving over to the battle of the wingers here next as well. Again, it is Rubitus, the only other player alongside Dembski on HV71 that has prior elite experience. And I think you can kind of see that in the early stages here as, again, he is tied for the team lead in goals and is the outright team leader in assists. Again, he is next to Matalaiska. And on that right-hand side, Limu and Sampi. Sin, what stands out so far as we look at this particular matchup?
Really for me, it's still Sampi. He needs to find the back of the net a little bit more, find the scoring sheet a little bit more as well. He only has the 4 points in the 8 games played so far. That's simply not going to be good enough here in the elite division, and Roots are sort of waiting on him to kind of catch up and, start helping out on that goal production side of things. Not that he's not capable or not that he's not getting his chances, just right now, just a little bit snake bitten.
Absolutely. And again, when talking about these two particular teams, maybe again, some of the inexperience that you have in the elite division, you never quite know what you're going to get out of some of these lesser experienced players. But for some of these guys, so far, so good. We'll see if they can step it up a little bit. Sin, that brings us over to the battle of the defense as well. Again, for HV71, Zupe and Putaking side by side. And of course, Nordsman and Vodi on that right hand side. And, Sin, for those right defensemen, one particular statistic stands out.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly physical, and that kind of ties into Roots' game by itself. They are one of the more physical teams here in the elite division in this season, but as a result, they have taken quite a bit of penalties. I think twice as much right now as HV. They're going to need to stay out of the box here, try to maintain their discipline, and just keep themselves really out of harm's way in that sense. They do have a very strong penalty kill right now because of it, but you don't want to keep testing the hockey gods, so to speak, and testing the other team's power play like that, giving them chances, because eventually someone's going to make you pay for that.
Absolutely. And I mean, Sin, talking about these two teams in general, up to this point in the season, if I'm not mistaken, with the team stats, I mean, both of these teams are two of the more physical clubs in particular. But for Roots, I mean, that focus with the physical side of things, one thing always kind of stands out when you're talking about a super physical team.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, HV71, I think they really need to kind of get a lot more scoring from different locations as well. Puta King only with that one goal, with the massive hits and stuff like that, but that's really where they're struggling to put up points.
Absolutely, and again, with those hits, you never know if those penalties will come through. And again, we do believe here off of the team stats as well. Root's taken twice the amounts of penalties so far this season as HV71. That could be just a little bit problematic. The goaltending battle is the last head-to-head that we have for you here. It is Koffelainen taking on Yantes, and I mean, Sin, so far, both of these netminders have had some pretty strong moments. It is a shame for Koffelainen that he has yet to see a victory this season. We saw a pretty strong performance the first time that we were able to cover HV71 this season. And Yantes this past Monday in that series against H-Reds was fantastic. But again, ultimately not able to get the victories, as we do have a little bit of a delay here in terms of getting that information switched over to you guys. We'll try to get that to you as soon as we can. And there you go, Sim. We get a look at the numbers. We often end up saying with goaltenders, oftentimes they play better than the numbers that we actually see.
Yeah, and I feel like Yantes is one of those guys, but same thing with Kafalainen, like I said, maybe a bit of product of the team suffering. But he has had some, solid performances in the time we saw him before. I mean, he was making some pretty key saves here. Obviously, the stats are not where you want to see them, but at the same time, HV71 without the win, 0-6-2, you can kind of expect that in the aggregate for the goaltenders. But yeah, when it comes to Yantes, I mean, the save percentage is hovering around that mark where you want to hit, but we've seen him, stand up against H-Reds at time and just make some phenomenal saves. So HV71, while they kind of seem to be, a team that's struggling to score with only averaging 1 goal per game, that might be tough, especially if Yantes is on his game.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, heading into this season too, when talking about Yantes, I was told, of course, for the season preview show that Mehis was going to be their primary guy. At least he was the guy heading into day one. Not so much now at this stage. It has been Yantes who's kind of been given the opportunity to take the ball and run with it. And so far, so good. So, as we are prepared for this matchup, again, an interesting set of circumstances here for HV71. Of course, you saw the standings and the fact that they are in dead last right now without a win through their first 8 games of the season. And Sin, as much as we've talked about it, if you have a 30-game regular season and you're 0-6-2, the amount of time that you have very quickly slips away in terms of whether or not you're able to make up that ground. Again, whoever finishes dead last is automatically relegated down to our pro division. No chance to fight for their survival. Unfortunately, that's just it. You're done and dusted. You're out of here. We'll see you down the
Yeah.
road, perhaps. It's a tough spot for them to be in, and if they're not facing the pressure already, they're going to be facing it now. And to take on a team like Roots that has playoff aspirations, unfortunately, these are the games where you at least need to, again, get a point or two with overtime losses, if not get the win, because it's that much more difficult when you're taking on the bigger teams to be able to take those points away and stay in the Elite Division.
Yeah, I would even say this series here is it's a must kind of win series, not just must win games. Like they have to win this series. If they don't, that's they'll be at 10 games played, and if they still don't have a winner, if they are still struggling down the standings, that's a third of the season done for them, and that kind of almost solidifies that the fact that they're not going to be in the playoffs and maybe even going to be in that relegation position. That's not where they want to find themselves early on. You want to kind of be able to maintain that hope here. So it'll be tough against a Roots Gaming opponent, but this is what it takes to stay in the Elite. This is what it takes to compete in the Elite. You got to beat any given team on any given day. So HV71 definitely going to be tested here.
Absolutely. So again, we are just about ready to go. And one final reminder here, well, there'll be a couple today, I do understand, but it is the final day, everybody. Exclamation point survey in chat. Your opportunity to win a PlayStation 5. Again, the final day to complete our community survey. Give us your feedback, your thoughts on everything going on with NHL Gamer, and you have a chance to walk away with a tremendous reward. So again, exclamation point survey in chat. And Sin, with that, we are underway. HV71 in the road whites. Roots, of course, in the black and green on the road. Again, HV71 looking for their first victory of the season. Whether or not they'll be able to get it, well, that's another story. Again, we had a very impressive performance from Roots where they were nearly able to beat Atrans and hand them their first loss of the season. Demski throws a shot on. Good rebound chance there, just at the side of the goal for Matalaiska. And Sin, in talking about these two teams, I mean, both of them, decent amount of shots. Again, that physicality we mentioned, it is a pretty close battle. We just need to see those goals. And technically, actually, if I'm not mistaken, both teams with 14 goals total on the season. So it just kind of shows, how close a lot of these games can be.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're seeing Roots get a lot of extended zone time right there. Quick shot onto the side of the net from Lexa. That was a nice little down-low cycle there. Sampia had a nice chance in the slot just a bit earlier before that. Couldn't get the shot away as it bounced to the corner, but I like the tenacity there from Roots, really being the first ones to those loose pucks to extend that zone time.
Roots still in the attacking zone here in the early stages of this first period. Held down in the corner. Good patience on display there by Nordsman, who's pinching in. Lexa, the captain, slap shot on. Rebound picked up, another shot, and Koffalainen able to make the save on that one. Again, Lexa is team leading scorer, wearing the golden helmet. See it on the other side as well for Matalaiska of HV. Of course, Elite Division action. Brought to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here. Twitch.tv/NHL Gamer. Of course, brought to you by our friends at Kovalon Lakritzi, Wilhelm, X-Bill, and ST Hawk. Chance here for Roots. Another save by Koffalainen and Sin. They're testing him early.
Yeah, and he's have to be good. These are in-tight chances as well. Can be difficult for a goaltender, and sometimes they just go through. You almost saw him kind of with the potential to get beat on a backhand earlier that he was kind of in the middle of the net for. Fortunately, got a pad on it.
Lexa throwing it across and a swing and a miss. Unfortunately, Limu not able to take that one out of his skates. It's Rubitas. Good job sending that one to the far corner. Better chop by the defender there. Vody able to take care of that one. And again, it's Roots in on the attack. Puck down low. Lexa recovers. Tried the wraparound. Loose puck. Kicks back to the point. Vody's pass in front broken up. Madaliska here for HV. It's the puck down low. Wraparound bit on the other side. Yantez all over it. Both goaltenders seem pretty prepared for the idea of having to stop those wraparounds tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams are not really hesitating in trying to get the puck towards the net, either with drives or with quick passes, not allowing the opposing team to kind of establish their collapse right there. That could have been a boarding call right there, but perhaps Sampi dodged a bullet on that one. They are able to get the puck out of the zone.
It's HV going back down the other way, only momentarily. That pass a little bit off the mark. Good hit there at the blue line, but again, Roots able to maintain possession. Puck dumped in and recovered. See what HV can do going down the other way. Good job gaining the blue line. Rubitas tried to drop it back down. A little bit of traffic there, went off a skate. Again, Roots able to send that one in, but not able to make the most of any forechecking pressure they're able to put on. That puck just out of the reach of Putakik, stepping up the right D on that left wing side. Lexa. It's over to Nordsman. Sin, for as many early chances as it looks like both teams have had, we've had to see a lot more of the dump and chase here to try and establish possession. Roots finally do. Great block by Rubitas. It's Roots still in on the attack. Loose puck. Covered in the circle. HV not able to clear, though. 2 minutes to play here in the first period.
Yeah, it's a good job from Roots here to be able to apply the pressure. And a lot of times, that being said, what a breakout.
It's just offside. Madalice got sent. I thought he timed that incredibly well. That's a tough break.
I think he did time it pretty well, but he got one of those pickups where he kind of bobbled the puck for a split second, so he didn't have solidified possession going over the blue line, which did lead to that being considered offsides there. But good win by Lexa right there again, and Roots establishing pressure. He's got to be careful right there. As Nordsman spun around, everyone was kind of up. Had he turned it over right there, could have been a nice break for HV71 with an on-man. But so we wind down here in the first period, still scoreless. Plenty of chances kind of for both teams. I would give the advantage to Roots, however. They will just wind down the clock there.
Indeed, that will do it for the first period. No goals to be found, but some elite edges on display here, I am sure, for Dembski. It's a beautiful thing.
It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, we did see some nice hits in that one. Some hits against the board, some open ice collisions, trying to, spring some momentum back the other way. And both of these teams, definitely trying, as you can see, Roots able to establish themselves in the O-zone, and that was the separation between these two teams. There were some solid shot blocks coming out from HV71. They got some chances off the Russian net drives, but they simply weren't able to sustain any pressure. Credit to Roots for that. They were good on those loose pucks, basically in their defensive zone as well as their offensive zone, and that's kind of what led to them in their transition game. The face-off advantage obviously helps as well, but really it was their ability to track down the loose pucks, to win those puck battles 50-50 or otherwise, and be able to maintain possession and set some stuff up and get some attempted chances.
Second period underway here. Again, the regular season matchup between HV71 and Roots, and a shot just wide. The far side post there. Of course, each matchup in the regular season, home and home, wrap around, and it's stopped on the line. Koffelainen just able to stop that one from going in. Close call.
Very, very close, and we've seen some interesting close calls like that at the beginning of both these periods, too. So both teams looking to come out of the gates pretty strong, as Lexa doesn't quite win that one. He did have a 5-1 faceoff advantage before that one, but good job from Dembski to win that key defensive zone draw and relieve the pressure.
And the first matchup of two between these two teams. And Sin, these goalies are they're going to have a rough afternoon, a rough evening, if we keep seeing opportunities like that with loose pucks in the crease. It's going to add to the stress levels.
Absolutely. Sometimes those are the scariest, when the puck just kind of skitters towards you ominously while you're maybe even adjusting to another potential opportunity that was going to come out to you. We will see a power play, however, now for Roots. It looks like, it was an interference call, maybe kind of just one of those bumps. Yeah, I guess he lost the puck. Yeah.
So it is Zupe to the box for HV. Roots going to the power play. A dynamite 42% on the power play here in the early stages of this season. Shot on, and a good stop there by Kofalainen to the glove side. So we'll see what Roots are able to do here. Again, Sim, we mentioned it, both teams pretty even in terms of the goals thus far. Roots, of course, though, with a, I believe, actually the same amount of games played, yeah. So it's been interesting at this stage to see how these offenses have gotten things to go. Loose puck. That one tried to be shuffled towards the goal. Matalaiska to the half wall, hit from behind. And is there a penalty? There is, Sim. We're going to 4-on-4.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see if you're Roots. I'd see what he was trying to do, get to that to the side there to kind of push him off. But those boarding calls, kind of like the interference calls, it's a lot tighter than it was in NHL 21. So we will see some 4-on-4 action, a lot more space out there, and we've seen both these teams develop nice plays off the rush. However, Matalaiska there, bit of a mistake as he was trying to circle back around, does take that puck outside, so that will be a self-inflicted offside and neutral zone face-off.
See what they're able to do here. Again, you see the huge advantage to Roots so far. Technically losing that draw, but in possession. Going down the other way here. Limu not able to hold on to it. Zombie's with him. Drops back to Nordsman. Again, one of the few with the prior elite experience. Tried to pick that short side corner. Good blocker save. Back to the point. Lexa up in cover. Nordsman not able to hold it. We have 15 seconds to go in this 4-on-4 before a very abbreviated power play for HV. Here's Matalaiska in on the attack. Short side. Yantes is there and makes the cover. So send 30 seconds on the dot for HV to try and get something going here.
It'll start in the faceoff. Dembski has been losing the battle so far against Lexa, but if he can win this one, they might be able to establish something with the remaining time.
They do win the draw. Supe for Rubitus gets it back. One timer from the point. Doesn't get through the traffic. It's cleared. And with that, we will be back to a 5-on-5. Still here in the early stages of this second period. Puda King not able to hold on to that one. It's a 2-on-2 down the other way for Roots. Lexa drives wide, makes his way past the defender. Pass in front and a big stop. Kofalainen denying Sampi his second goal of this season. Turnover there and trouble for HV. It's Roots in control. Contact there, though, by Dembski to take that one away. HV71 trying to get going down the other way. Supe stepping up into the play. Tried to throw it in front. Nowhere to go. Heavy collapse from Roots. Dembski has him one more time here. Around the back of the net. Poked away. Still they maintain possession. To the point. Trouble there. Good job by Rubitus to circle out of it. Supe knocked down. Still HV71 fighting for possession. Here's Zupe. We have a power play coming. Thought there was going to be a wrap there. He elected to pass. Regardless, second power play. This time a full 2 minutes for HV71.
Wow, yeah, I really thought there was a wrap coming right there, and I think you were right that there was a pass on the side of the net and not a shot animation there. So perhaps a bit of a mental mistake from Zupe, failing to catch Yantes, who just simply wasn't correcting as the player went around the net, but they will get a power play opportunity because of it. Nice try, and they do get possession off another Dembski faceoff win.
See what they can do. They have the opportunity to set up that pass, unfortunately off the mark. Battle for it. Vody not able to hold on to it. Dembski has it down low in the corner. Quick set of give and goes here around the back of the net. Loose puck. HV still in possession. Butake exploring his options. Matalaiska has it down low. Rubitus tries to go back to the point. Nobody home. With that, we're already down to 40 seconds left on this power play, Sin. Yet to really have a clean shot attempt. Vody not able to clear that one. Matalaiska pass back. Good block in front. Final 10 seconds. Butake for Rubitus. Matalaiska down low. We're back to 5-on-5. Not the best display on the man advantage there for HV71. Under 7 minutes to go here in the second period. Still looking for our opening goal of this contest. Dembski battling in the corner. Lexa has to at least go back to the point. Nordsman's there. Stuck on the back end. Nobody home on that pass.
Yeah, it seems like both these teams right now looking for something kind of specific instead of necessarily maybe what the other team is giving them right now, as they're both just trying to get their season going in the direction that they want. and maybe trying to force things a little too much.
Side call there. Certainly not looking like the same offense that we would have seen from Roots this past Monday, again, when they took on H-Reds, our defending champions. Don't want to call it out too early off of just, what is their ninth game of the season. But maybe, I mean, we've seen it before since certain teams played to the level of their competition.
Mm-hmm.
HV71 shot scores! Out of nowhere, King has his second of the season with 3 minutes to go here in the second period. And Sin, that certainly changes the narrative as we were discussing it in real time.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, that's a great play right there from HV71 there as the defenseman puts that one home. He now has 2 goals and 0 assists. An odd stat line for a defenseman, but I'm sure he'll take it right now. 1-0 for HV71, and yeah, just like that, Roots on the back foot here, and they're going to have to establish something. They did have the advantage early, but a good job by HV71 to weather that storm and get themselves the lead.
Roots in on the attack, trying to get that goal back as soon as they possibly can. We approach the final minute. Limu dishes it down low. Between the legs, fake. Limu has it again. Tried that slap shot from point blank range. Kovalainen was there again. Will be an attacking zone face-off for Roots Gaming here. 32 seconds to play. Trailing 1-0. HV again looking for their first win of the season, 6-2. So far, those 2, of course, overtime losses where they picked up their lone 2 points. They are offside here, though, with 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, Ribitus felt he had to hold up, but King passed just as he tried that. But yeah, Roots, I mean, in a little bit of trouble here. They seem to really want to be getting that down low cycle, and HV71 has adjusted now. They're collapsing extremely heavily, and Roots seemingly are not kicking it back up to the point as much as perhaps they should to try to spread HV71 back out, or maybe just rip some shots from the point. Nordsman and Vodia, we've seen Vodia especially, he's got 4 goals this season, so you expect to see Roots kind of utilize their point man a bit more.
Timer and a dangerous deflection there. A 1-0 lead for HV71 off of this goal here. It will take the lead into the third period.
Yeah, it was looking like he wanted to get that one-timer off, as you often see cutting back to the opposite side of the goaltender. Didn't get it off, but the wrister was still good enough to beat him on that blocker side, and that's what gives us the lead right here as HV71 vying for their first win. As you mentioned, there it is indeed a 1-0 game. Don't believe that lower graphic there. But yeah, it's, again, Roots had that advantage early in the game, and I feel like they didn't press it and they didn't capitalize on it. And wow, that pass does make it through. I mean, that can happen right there. Sticks and bodies in the way, it finds a seam somehow. But again, you can see Roots, they're still with the advantage, but HV71 in that period got about 2 minutes 20 seconds of time on attack, which equaled what Roots did in that first period. So much better job by HV71, able to establish themselves in that offensive zone. And that's kind of what helped to lead him to get that goal. More time, more chances if you take those shots, and it led to a goal.
Opening face-off here for the third period, and a penalty taken immediately. Sampe sniped from the top row as he drops down to the ice. Just unmitigated violence. A power play coming up for Roots Gaming, and Sin, a great opportunity for them to tie this game.
Yeah, absolutely huge. This is what you want to start out the third period, a chance to sort of mend the mistake of giving up that goal. Unfortunately, I got to say, Demski's done a great job after going down in faceoffs to respond and win a bunch of key ones.
Roots again, their second power play of the game, side of the net for Limu. One-timer off the post, still in the crease. And HV able to regather and clear. Very, very close call. Roots nearly tied this game.
That was a massive play by Roots right there, and that's what I feel like we need to see a little bit more of, and not just on the power play, letting those defensemen rip it from the point. That's 2 close calls for Vody now.
Demski trying to get back in position after laying down that huge hit. Nordsman back to his feet, just fired it wide. And a puck cleared. Great job there by King. 10 seconds to go. We're going to be back to 5-on-5. Both teams struggling to take advantage of the man advantages. A little bit of revenge there. Demski dropped, and here comes Limu. On the right-hand side of your screen, great pass in front, but that backhand attempt couldn't get through, and sent an impressive pickoff there by Nordsman as Rubitas was trailing down the other way. Big hit there, and a penalty is going to be called. Controversial, perhaps. Roots going back to the power play as it's a charge against Puta King, and I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's pretty borderline of a charge right now, and I'm sure HV71 aren't feeling good about that, but Roots will take it at this point. Another power play opportunity. They did get some pretty good chances. Got to credit to HV71 with the kill, but you keep giving the opponent chances, it could come back. And nice face-off win for Lexa.
Nordsman just wide of that post glove hand side, and the puck is cleared. Nordsman again all over the place for Roots. Mistimed at the line. Madalaiska sends it right back down. HV71 taking no chances. No need to really go for a shorthanded bid. Just do your best to hold the line, as Demski will send it all the way down.
And the zone entries right now from Roots looks like they're a little bit not on the same page there. That was a bit of a miscue on that sauce over there. Someone was stopping at the line.
Here's Nordsman. Gets absolutely floored by Demski. Lexa, though, able to keep it in. Final 5 seconds on the power play. Good interception. And we are back to even strength. Just mistimed. The man coming out of the box. 13 minutes to play here in the third period. Vody, good interception. Pass down low, and Zombie just couldn't hold on to that one. Vody keeping it alive. Gets it back to him. Lexa trying to hold on. Great pressure from HV71 with that physicality in the glove stop by Kalfalainen.
Yeah, as Roots was kind of swarming right there. You mentioned it, HV71 trying to press the issue, get the hits, try to force the turnover, but Roots were right there for those loose pucks. Kept it on that side of the ice, did get a shot out of it, but Kalfalainen, credit where credit's due, is making every single save that his team needs right now. Some of them tougher than others, but he's making it happen.
Communication there for HV going down the other way, and an offside call. A 1-0 lead, and said I'm not sure what the numbers would be, but I wonder how late into a game HV71 have held the lead this season. And 11 minutes to go now, but still a long way to go. Madalaiska has it. Demski to Rubitas, and again, mistimed at the line. Rubitas lost all of his speed as he picked up that pass.
Yeah, it looks like he got the puck just as he was going to slow up a bit, and often sometimes that causes your guy to just completely slam on the brakes right there at the line, which bit of an inconvenience for HV at 71, is that's a couple rush chances in a row that have been stopped by an offside. As what a play right there. Unfortunately, Sampi just couldn't get to the pass in the slot.
They move down low here for Roots. They do have this zone possession time. Nordsman tried to pick the corner, and what a display this has been by Kalfalainen. Perfect positioning all game long.
Yeah, it's really exactly where it needs to be. He's sealing off the short side. They keep trying to pick that. He's not overcommitting on one-time opportunities. He's just remaining where he needs to be.
Good D-to-D work. Nordsman can't get that shot through the traffic. The Roots will have to reset one more time. 8 minutes to play. And in the first game of 2, the regular season matchup, the home at home. Nordsman picks that one off to keep it in the attacking zone. Loose puck. Vody again tried to pass it through, and it wasn't there. Rubitas sends it down. Another offside, and Sin, crucially, this one should be all the way back in the HV71 defensive zone.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, you'll be right about that. I like the idea coming out from HV71. When they're feeling some of the pressure, they try for quicker breakouts. If their initial breakouts sometimes aren't working, they're trying to stretch it out. And I like that play, the kind of the shot play of someone streaking up the ice. Great job from the defense of Roots there to remain in his face. And unfortunately, the pass didn't quite get there, but a lot of creativity trying to come out from HV71. So they are going to continuously be trying new things as they look to pick up their first win here. They are still nursing that slim 1-0 lead here with 6:41 left in the third. But Roots has been pushing hard here.
And looking for that first win of the season. Sin, it's almost, I feel like it's almost along the lines of the other word you try not to say until the game's over.
Right.
And even now that we've referenced it, I'm sorry in advance if certain things happen. There's trouble there for Sampi on that left-hand side of your screen. Loose puck fired just wide. Close call there. Lexa nearly found the back of the net, and Madalaiska just says, screw it, sends it down with straight 4s on the clock. Playing with fire, though, if you can't keep that clock ticking.
Yep. And offensive zone face-off. Lexa, another chance for Roots here. Eventually, they got to feel like one of these has got to go in. They keep getting close, but Dembski's doing a good job here at the death to win some key draws.
Buda King not able to hold it. Loose puck. Kept in. Nordsman circles back to the forehand. Looking for that shooting lane, perhaps. Goes to Sampi, back to Nordsman. Broken up a few times, but he maintains possession. And a pass off the mark by Sampi, and that is exactly what HV71 needed. Send 2.5 to play now. Into the attacking zone, Roots. Around the back, gets it back, and again banks it off the side of the cage. Stretch pass, intercepted by Vody. Clock still ticking, and the puck all the way down. 1 minute to go for Roots to tie this game. Lexa dishes back to Nordsman. They gain the zone. Nordsman still has it. Sampi recovers. One-timer block shot, scores! With 47 seconds to go, Lexa finds the goal, finds the back of the net. We are tied at 1. Sin better late than never.
Yeah, that was a nice pass back all the way to Vody, who did blast that one. Actually injured someone with this shot, as we saw injury notification pop up on the streaming player's name right there. And then Lexa, the recipient of that bounce at the side of the net, puts that one home. Roots. Ugh, it got close there at the end, but they are able to find that tying marker. But let's see if they really are going to try to push for that go-ahead goal. You got to feel like they would, because they probably feel like they've been robbed a couple times by Kofalainen.
40 seconds to play now. Puck dumped in. Roots will win the foot race. Back to the point, it's Nordsman. Working a lot of their offense through him in this first game. Puck still down low with Limu. Goes back to Lexa, and again, one more time down low. They dish to the point. Nordsman, that shot deflects just wide. 15 seconds. Limu around the back, trying to maintain possession. Drives the net. Loose puck, kick save. Lexa denied the opportunity, and HV71, rightfully so, will take a crucial point and risk it in overtime. Heartbreaker for them, since still looking for that first W, but they do secure another point, which could, of course, be very important by the end of the season.
Yeah, it absolutely could. They desperately kind of need the win here, but good for Roots. They are able to get a point out of that game, in which you could definitely argue they deserved at least a point, but we've seen a lot of teams that deserve something and come up just short it. All that matters at the end of the day is that score on the scoreboard there. I mean, 10 minutes time on attack, 12 shots. Maybe could have used a few more shots here and there, but at the same time, credit where credit's due. Kofalainen, excellent job of saving a lot of those. I mean, Roots tested a lot of different angles and a lot of different looks, and for the most part, Kofalainen was right there, and it took a bounce off of a blocked shot to finally beat him in the end. So he's done a great job of keeping HV71 into this game. We'll see if they can get that one good chance that they need to pick up their win here in overtime.
A huge moment here again, HV, with 2 overtime losses on the season so far. Looking for that first win of the year. Can they get it? They held on for as long as they could, and as you see in the bottom left-hand side of your screen, Captain Dembski still dealing with an injury as Kofalainen makes another save. Is that pass off the mark? They'll be forced to reset. Rubitas has it now. And as mentioned, one of the few players in this HV71 lineup with prior elite experience. Roots back in on the attack. Lexa not able to maintain possession. First game of this broadcast. Again, one more game coming up between these two. And a little bit later on, Havu Gaming taking on Granite Gaming. And shockingly, currently, Havu sitting outside of the playoffs if the season were to end today. Of course, we're approaching a third of the way through it, so there's still a long way to go. Speaking of a long way to go, who knows how long this one might last or not? Dangerous moments here. Shot and stopped by Kofalainen. He tried to play the puck in a horrible situation, and it nearly cost him.
Yeah, it bounced off Alexa, and he maybe almost got a secondary chance because of it. But here's HV71 with the shot. Deflection through, but Yantes makes the save, and that's all it can take from them. I like that idea from HV71, just throwing that on net. We've seen it so many times, a crazy chance at one end, and sometimes it goes right back, and the other team puts one home. So not a bad look from HV71 right there.
They do win the draw. D-to-D work. Shot again. Yantes the save, flashing the leather, and that one looked very, very dangerous.
It did, and it made it through all of those bodies right there. No deflection on it either, and Yantes just had to make the save through a little bit of traffic.
Off the tie-up again, HV in control. Double shot attempts there. Neither one able to find its way through. That shot. Kofalainen able to kick it away. The deflection in front. So again, Sim, we mentioned it, for both goalies, could be a stressful night. And indeed, both have had to make saves on rather difficult, not so straightforward attempts. A bit of space here for Lex to spin. Pass in front, it's in! And that's it! Or not. I was wondering if the referee was going to approach. I didn't see him move at first. Let's get another look at this goal. Or maybe not.
It was a nice spin pass. That's a tough one to call because it is the guy in the crease who does get credit with the goal. There is a player behind him. I'm not too sure if to look in at a kick or a goaltender interfere. Okay, so it gets called back. And this one will continue here. Most likely goaltender interference.
Oh, so close there for Roots. Tie up on the draw, and it's HV coming up with it. Madaliska not able to work his way around Nordsman. Good attacking zone pressure here, though. Dish to the point. Puda King circles back. Pinches in. Throws it on. Chance. And Yantes with the save. Dangerous moments again for both goaltenders.
Yeah, these poor goaltenders. That was a pass that then bounced right in front of him. Puda King had a chance to just tuck that one home, and it went kind of right into the crest of Yantes, who had to be careful not to overslide there. That one would have been in.
Ooh, trouble there for Zupa. Smart move to just back off and at least maintain possession. Nordsman has it again for Roots, as we've said so many times this game. Puck dumped in. Handled well by HV. 6.5 to play. Good pressure there by Roots. And a penalty's called. HV71 will go to the power play, should they not score on this possession time that they currently have there, as Demski can't make his way past the line. Another power play for HV71. The slashing call against Sampi, and a huge chance here to win the game.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate one. He wasn't in a bad position for the stick lift right there. Just couldn't quite get the angle on it, and he will head to the box because of that. What a chance for HV71 here to steal away this second point.
And off the draw, puck unable to be at least fully cleared out. Puda King just kind of bullied out of the attacking zone. Great job there by Nordsman. Tries the spin. Zupe was able to take that one away. We're almost halfway through this power play already, and HV71 barely in the attacking zone. They do gain the line now. Puda King to Madaliska. Shot. Can't get its way through the traffic. Here's Rubitus. Tried to dish it in front. Limu can't get the clear. Nordsman recovers and at least gets it back out to the neutral zone. 30 seconds to go on the power play as Zupe chases this one down. Looking. Couldn't get it short side. But had he, it looked like Yantes did kind of cheat off that post. Big collision there. Limu's stretch pass intercepted. We are back to 5-on-5. 3 minutes to go in overtime one. Of course, sudden death rules. We will stay until there's a winner. Loose puck out to the far side after the net drive from Lexa.
And we're approaching that 2-minute mark where it'll shift to the real time here in overtime. So this is where you definitely don't want to take a penalty.
Demski has to drop that one back. B71 trying to be careful in possession. Great job there to catch the defense unaware. As Zupe has it in the corner, dishes in front, bouncing around. And a chance here down the other way. Sampi, 2 men on his back. HV71 to put that danger aside. 1.5 to go here in this overtime. Puda King on the drive. Has it down low. Let's see what he can do. Good poke check. Gets it back. Loose puck bouncing around as Roots have it. They move for Sampi. Now it's Alexa. Shot on and gloved by Kofalainen.
Not a bad look for Kofalainen there. Came out to play the angle just a little bit, and he's able to make that save. But an offensive zone draw here for Roots. They might be able to get another chance on net if they're able to win this, but they don't. Demski, great job in the defensive zone, especially in the third period in this overtime, to win those draws.
Kofalainen now up to 15 saves as well. If only that was the norm, he might have dialed in and be that much more difficult to beat. But can't imagine any goaltender in the Elite Division happens to rock that. Scramble for the puck. Lexa comes up with it again. His late goal in the final minute was able to tie this game, send us to this point. HV71 0-6-2 on the season. They were so close to their first win, they still have a chance at it. Roots again entering play today in 11th out of our 16 teams here in the Elite Division. Puck off the side of the net. Kofalainen able to find it with the glove. 20 seconds to play in OT1.
And this is settled down just a little bit, but with those bounces, it always can get a little bit crazy quick. But in the dying moments here, we'll see how aggressive both these teams want to be.
Face off won by HV. Rubitus having to cut back. Can't get the clear. Alexa regathers for Roots. Vody loses it. Nordsman's there. 8 seconds. Shot doesn't get through the traffic. Zupe the stretch pass. Rubitus has 4 seconds to work. Drops back for Lexa the shot, or excuse me, for Demski the shot. And an easy save there, all things considered for Yantes with 0.2 to go. Sin, what a way to start off the broadcast. Double overtime coming up.
It's not even Monday. It's no Marathon Monday. It's just plenty of overtimes here for the Wednesday broadcast, at least to start off here, as neither team able to find the back of the net. And Kofalainen continues to, at times, stand on his head for HV71. But yeah, I got to kind of wonder the difference between Roots' attack here and then it was against H-Reds. It's almost as if, I wouldn't say they're off their game, but it's just maybe they're not as, I don't know. Sometimes when you, like you said earlier, when you go up against those good teams, you're that much more, juiced up to go. And it seems like Roots just hasn't been able to find the sort of chances, and especially on the rush that they're able to find against H-Reds. And so, I mean, maybe credit to HV71 for kind of preventing that here, as we will get another look at that last second chance. He was looking for that short side, but it was just completely closed off by Yantes. That shot would have had to have been absolutely perfect to beat him up there in that corner. And it wasn't, and as such, we are heading to overtime at number 2 here.
We'll see who's able to walk away with that extra point. Incredibly valuable to both teams. Again, Roots looking to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Long way to go to be there. And, of course, HV71 trying to get further away from the possibility of relegation. Again, both of these teams technically making their way up to the Elite Division from Pro last season. And another attacking zone draw here for Roots. The early stages of OT2, not OT4. But the graphics glitches, prominent as they may be, we know what to look out for. Here's Buta King for HV. Loose puck bouncing around, and Limu recovers for Roots. Sampe a bit of a step here. Good protection. Lex to the wraparound, and Kofalainen all over it. Both teams trying those wraparounds consistently throughout this contest. This puck down behind the goal line, recovered by Demski. Loses it in the double team. Roots again continuing to get the majority of the attacking zone time. Here's Limu. Shot it right through the paint. And out the other side, Madalaiska able to recover with a bit of speed. Good pass. Rubitus is backhand wide on the far side. Nordsman, good patience. Outlet pass, though, missed communication with the right winger there. In trouble at the line for HV71. Chance here, 2-on-1. Demski off the steal. Couldn't get it short side. Loose puck. Still there. Doesn't go. 2 wide open looks with no goaltender in sight. But somehow, some way, HV71 don't find a way to get the winner.
I don't know how that one stayed out. Rubitus right there, especially that second chance, had it wide open. Perhaps there was some incidental contact with the defender. He wasn't able to even get possession to get the shot away. I'm not sure. Either way, that's a couple opportunities now gone by the wayside for HV71, capitalizing off some mistakes that Roots made. And there's one right there. Could be a 2-on-1 for Roots now.
Ape couldn't get that pass through. Great job by Zupe. Sin referenced what we had to call last season due to the consistency of the overtimes Marathon Monday. Maybe this season it's when will it end Wednesday. Nordsman holds it down low, turns it over. Demski looking, deflection bid. Couldn't get a clean look at it. Vody has trouble, but he does get that puck out. Limu spins, passes, shot, save, Kofalainen. Just over 7 minutes to go. Again, we still have a second game coming up between these two. Offside call, and again, a little bit later on, Havu and Granite going head-to-head.
Well, the way this one's going, we might get a full 2 games out of this first one right here. Neither goaltender willing to budge, neither team really willing to budge, and at times almost feeling like they're playing perhaps not to lose. I mean, with where they are, it's hard to blame them with where they are in the standings and what they aspire to do here, but see which team kind of wants to open things up just a little bit more. I mean, the 2 odd man potentials that we saw just came off of weird bounces in the neutral.
Dot on, rebound, puck still there. A good chance for Roots. Puck still bouncing around. Kofalainen not going butterfly either. Playing with fire. 4.5 to go. Stretch pass. Rubitus is there. Times it well with Demski. Throws it across. It nearly went in off of Nordsman. Janta's having to make another save. Lexa not able to hold that one. 3 minutes to go in overtime number 2. Be able to gain the line. Matalaiska the spin over to Demski. Loose puck still bouncing around. Roots have it. Gotta get something going down the other way. Lex on the cutback. Dishes it down low. Supe was there to take it away. Another big stretch pass. Demski has space. Pass across, and Nordsman finds it. Still loose in the slot. And Roots again able to come up with possession. Sid mentioned in the previous overtime. Real-time final 2 minutes. That extra bit of aggression could come back to haunt you if you were to take a penalty. It's Vody. Excuse me, not Vody. Lex is there. Again, who needs similar colors between the center and the red defense? Everyone can tell the difference all the time. On the back of the net, Limu again was going to look for that wraparound, knocked off the puck. Great defense there. Here's Lexa. Just completely snuffed out by the defensive duo of HV71. Matalaiska has it. Good move. Dishes down low. Slap shot off the back of the net. Matalaiska wraparound bid doesn't go. The HV71 have seemingly outright stopped passing the puck to their point, not wanting to risk a great scoring chance down the other way.
Yeah, again, and that kind of goes back to both these teams seemingly sort of playing not to lose, and they're just kind of forcing the same areas again and again. We saw it from Roots on their break, and they're sending one guy through, not even wanting to risk an extra guy or two on the rush, and that's just leading to a lot of kind of neutral zone play between them, and they both sort of seem content in doing that and looking for that one chance. As once again, passed into traffic. Nice forecheck there by Limu.
Tried the short side. Tried that short side. Just shuffled one on. Doesn't go. 25 remaining in OT2. Demski bumped off the puck. Chance now for Limu. Tries to throw one on. Might start seeing that be the prevailing strategy. You never know. At this point, this chess match has to end at some point. Or does it? Who knows? At this rate, 3 seconds to go. And triple overtime on the agenda for our opening game of this broadcast as we'll get another look at one of Kofalainen's numerous saves.
Yeah, he's had quite a few in this one, but yeah, we're definitely going the distance in this one as, well, massive collision right there. I didn't even quite catch that one while the game was going on, but it's some crazy bounces, and goaltenders had to make some weird saves here. But as this game's gone on, you see that gap between the time and attack slowly kind of kind of closing there as HV71 getting more and more chances, or Roots getting less and less. Look at the faceoffs now. At one point, it was 5-1 in favor of Lexa. Dembski's done a great job of adjusting to what Lexa wants to do, and now has the advantage in faceoffs here going into this third overtime. So we may indeed get a full 2 games here in this one game, and we still have another one to go through between these two teams. So buckle up, guys. This one could be in for the long haul. We'll see what happens here in this third overtime.
Who will walk away with that extra point? Again, the impact on who wins this and how that might alter strategies heading into that second game. Nordsman not able to hold that one. Sin and I both thoroughly in the camp now of having to conserve a little bit of energy and and vocal efforts, knowing that this could be quite the broadcast here today. HV trying to gain the line, again, completely stifled. Nordsman taking his time in the corner, playing with a little bit of fire, though, finally shakes the winger and earns that bit of space. Chipped in. Rubitas handled it well. To get to Puta King on that offhand side. Zupe now for HV. Not able to find any help in front. Roots one more time. Well, not able to find any sort of scoring opportunity. Sin, you know how this one's going to work. The winner's going to come seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. With the way this has gone, I mean, there's just no clean entries to be found. No real even clean chances. No team's able to get sustained pressure. It's a one pass or one attempted shot and then just back out. That being said, that was a bit of an errant pass there.
Off the side of the goal for Lexa. Scored from that spot to again tie the game. Here's Dembski. Madalaiska holding it down low, looking at his options. To go out to the left, gets held up. Rubitas wraparound broken up. Nordsman was able to get a stick on it.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes to show you that the HV71 is incredibly intimidated by the counterattack. There's not sending it back to that point whatsoever, and they get beat wide right there by Sampi. See if they can actually maintain possession. They can't. Just back the other way, back and forth, back and forth.
Chance here for Dembski now. Back pressure. Able to withstand it. Wrap around for Rubitas. Doesn't go. Madalaiska. Loose puck all the way back to the neutral zone. 8 minutes remaining in overtime number 3. Welcome everybody officially. We're crowning it now. When will it end? Wednesday is official on the NHL gamer schedule. A delayed offside call here will force HV to retreat. Poke check there by Madalaiska. Forces another reset for Roots. Aaron pass. With 5.5 minutes to play. Again, struggling to find any space. Great job by Dembski there on the back ski. To the point. Zupe can't get it through. Held in well by Puta King. Trouble there, though. Off of the pressure, and great job by Zupe, but finally we see HV71 willing to work it to the point. Try something different. At some point, one of these two teams has to risk it. There's Vody. Shut down in the attacking zone. It's HV back in control. Here's Puta King one more time. Has the lone goal for HV71 in this game. Wraparound bid held off and sent out of play with 2:15 to go.
I think I've counted about 10 wraparound attempts from HV71 in the last 2 overtimes alone. That seems to be how they want to try to get this last goal here.
Off the tie-up, it is Roots in possession. Final 2 minutes of the third overtime. To clarify, the third overtime, not just the third period. Icing waved off. Rubitas has it to the point. Zupe. Good patience. Shot. Not to the traffic. Rebound scores! The loose puck picked up by Dembski. We have a winner. And for the first time this season, it's HV71 in triple overtime.
And we said it might come from nowhere right there. It was just a shot from the point. It created a bounce out front. And HV71 gets rewarded for using their point men there in overtime. It took a couple ones for them to do it, but they do get rewarded for it in the end as Dembski puts that one home on the short side, and HV71 pick up their first win on the season. Tough break for Roots there, but they did get the tying goal. They were technically the better team, but I felt like in the overtime, I think they're just a bit too cautious. Both these teams, for the most part, were a bit too cautious, and they were just seemingly content at leaving it up to chance right there. And I don't think that's something that you can do if you want to have a whole lot of sustained success in the Elite Division. So we'll have to see what kind of adjustments that both these teams want to make, because Roots can't be feeling good about that. To only come away with 1 point after with a kind of dominant first period that they had, and the performance that they had against H-Reds as well, to drop that, drop that game to HV71 right there has got to feel bad.
Dembski's 5th goal of the season moves into sole possession of the team lead. A .955 save percentage for Kopalainen, as you saw it there. HV71, their first win of the season. And man, did Roots make them earn it. It took triple overtime to find that winner, but here we go, Sim. We'll get another look at it. Break this one down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just exactly kind of what we wanted to see. Just a quick shot. It was a wrister. It wasn't even necessarily, quote unquote, a good shot to take. But when you throw pucks on net, you never know what can happen right there. ×2. Dembski picks it up, doesn't try to look for a pass, doesn't try to reset, just throws it on net, and he picks that short side. I like that decision there from HV71 to just kind of, as the game kind of wore on, throw things on the net. It seemed for a while they really wanted the down low cycle, and then they really wanted the wrap chances, and they threw about 5 of those in a row with their zone time, and it just wasn't working. They weren't even really getting shots on net from it. Both teams were snuffing it out. Roots sending one guy through, maybe with one supporting, not committing even a third forward to those zone entries, was kind of detrimental, because HV71 just stopped them from gaining anything. It really, especially in that last overtime, as well as you see, I mean, the game tying goal and the game winning goal all came from shots from the point and some bounces. So I think for both teams, if they recognize that, they might try to pull that out a little bit more here in this second game.
A little bit surprised as well. It looked like there might have been a slight bit of goalie interference there, or at least contact on that winning goal. Roots, unfortunately, I have to say, thankfully, that wasn't called. Sorry if it was a bad break for you. It ends in triple overtime. HV71, again, their first win of the season. And if you're prepared for it, we have the second game between these two coming up in just a few moments. Let's send it over to a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to set the stage. Make sure to, take a trip to the bathroom, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, a blanket, because you might fall asleep depending on how long that one lasts. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Loistava vapauttava syöttö ja sen jälkeen ollaan karkumatkalla. Minkälaisia ratkaisuja tulee? Tämän kaverin nimittäin on ollut todella kylmän viileä näissä paikoissa. Kilven räpylän puolelle kummalle tulee. Liikkuvat taakse kiekkomaali! Ja Wilhelm jälleen kerran nakkikioskille. Smokey Bites ja Snacks ovat tuoneet hienosti lisää leveyttä Wilhelm joukkueeseen.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you very, very much for sticking with us here. Again, the first game of 2 between HV71 and Roots Gaming in the books. HV getting that win. And of course, throughout this broadcast, we'll try to keep you updated on all the latest results around the league. And of course, the updated look at the standings, should we have them available, of course. But Sin, a huge moment there. And indeed, we do have some of the latest results, and a decent little result there for YMCA, getting a split there against Fairystead.
Yeah, and am I seeing that correctly? IQ with a 2-1 win over Frölunda. IQ was really starting to turn some heads. They had a good start to the season. Now they just took a game off of Frölunda. That's absolutely massive. Speaking of upsets, YMCA, as you said, taking that game off of Färjestad, also with 2 wins over Granite Gaming. YMCA, as you may recall, had a really rough start to the season. and they're really starting to turn it around right there. Taking those games off of Granite is absolutely massive because Granite was pretty high up in the standings here. I mean, we thought we may have been seeing the kind of brackets take shape, but this week's matchup so far maybe turning it on their heads a little bit.
Unlike the NHL's Eastern Conference, the playoff situation hardly settled at this point. I do believe we will have a look at the updated standings here then after those results. And as you can see, granted, granted, not granted, but a different amount of games played. But as it stands right now, this live standings, I mean, IQ up into third. When is the last time at any point in any elite season that we've covered that Frölunda or Havu were not in the top three? Of course, they're not far off from being there, but still very interesting to look at again as we approach the 30%, 33%, the third of the way mark in this season is the words that I'm looking for. Just stunning, Sid.
Yeah, still games in hand for Linda, but yeah, that is a bit of a shocker right there. Another shocker here is Roots, who we thought started out very, very strong, have dropped, I believe, 3 in a row. Actually, more than that. I think that's 5 in a row combined with the H-Reds, because they dropped both their games to Sawo Esports, and now they have just lost to HV71. This is a skid that Roots need to stop immediately, and I really feel like, in that game, I feel like they're being much, much too careful in that last game at times. We didn't see them with that tenacity and kind of the go for it mentality that they had against H-Reds.
Absolutely. So again, super interesting to follow along with the standings as the season plays out. The amount of shuffling of the deck chairs there, and just waiting to see. Of course, every single season, it's insane to see who actually makes it, who just missed out, and of course the relegation battles that we end up getting. But again, a huge result for HV, their first win of the season, and an opportunity now. I mean, Sin, you mentioned it, the pressure gonna be on Roots a little bit after the struggles that we've seen over the past couple of games, and you lose to a team like HV71 and give them a little bit of momentum. That can be problematic, as we do get a look, Sin, at the teams in the lobby, and of course, elite edges everywhere.
Yeah, elite edges as everywhere, playmakers and puck movers, as is the European meta here. And yeah, if your Roots, you got to change something quite clearly. As we get a look at the lineups really quick, it's we talked about it in the pregame. There's certain they've got to score more as a team, and it's simply in that one I felt like they weren't exactly taking a whole lot of risks, which sometimes doesn't really work to your benefit.
In the lineups, and of course, one more time, exclamation point survey in chat. Your opportunity to win a PlayStation 5 for simply giving us your thoughts and opinions on what we could potentially do better here at NHL Gamer. It is the final day to fill out that particular survey, so make sure to get it done if you haven't already. There could be a nice reward in the form of what might as well be as good as gold. Trying to get your hands on a PS5, easier said than done. Of course, over the past year and a half now. And of course, as we get ready for puck drop here, HV71 in the home blue, Roots in their road whites. This elite division action here for the ECL underway, of course, brought to you by our friends at Kovalon Lakritsi, Wilhelm, X-Bill, and ST Hockey, and we will see how this one plays out. A lot more pressure now on Roots, and needless to say, that first goal is going to be oh so important to set the tempo here, and who knows, and as we mentioned, what we might see in this game, maybe teams just a lot more willing to throw pucks on net.
Yeah, I think you have to in this one, especially like we mentioned it, seeing how those the game tying goal and the game winner was scored. You gotta see that. I think they got way too kind of comfortable in a lull there at times, especially sort of in that overtime of just sort of we kind of use the phrase "playing not to lose," and that's not necessarily saying that they don't want to win, but it's just they weren't necessarily taking those risks, trying to send those extra guys on the rush, exploiting some of the holes that they would have seen, just trying to kind of force into things, and that makes it very easy to adjust as a defending player to what they're going to try to do. The wraparounds, okay, we collapse. All right, they're going to only commit 2 guys on the rush. Okay, well, we can slide the defenseman over to try to get those plays, and that's what HV71 did quite well. As we see an icing here, I would say early on, but quite a bit of time has sort of passed by. This one has sort of flying by. It's the first whistle of the first period.
Well, in comparison to the last game, it's going to feel like it's flying by.
Yeah.
There's HV in possession here. Coach King, of course, one of the 2 goals in that last game. Here's Demski. He scored the winner. His pass off the mark. Still fighting for it. Already essentially covered 2 full games. It was a 2-1 in that first contest. As Zupe will send that one in. Nord's been able to handle it well. Sampi a bit too much traffic to deal with. Cooper King's pass again immediately. A Roots player in the attacker's face as Limu. The pass for Lexa off the side of the goal. Loose puck. Back to the point. D2D one-timer saved by Kofalainen. But a great opportunity there for Roots. More of that would certainly be welcome.
Yeah, and that was a tough one there, and I like that. Vody just kind of ripping that shot, and it was Sampi in the high slot who I think got a piece of that. It was a tough save for Kofalainen to make, but he ended up making it.
Here's Limu. That shot blocked down by the traffic in front. Demski gets it back. Loose puck. Demski scores! 2 in a row for the captain. HV71 grabbed the 1-0 lead for the second time in as many games, and saying it was sort of like an on-rails kind of goal there. Right place, right time, but you'll take what you can get.
I don't even know if he got a shooting animation out of that. Just kind of guided that one in as it was bouncing around like a hot potato there. Went to one of the HV71s, then I think to Nordsman there, who somehow bounced off his stick directly to Demski and slid it through the 5-hole there. A goal that you probably won't see duplicated anytime soon. That doesn't matter, though. HV71 with the lead early on, and Roots really got to be feeling the heat now.
Heat of this one for HV, though. You needed that extra insurance goal. One wasn't enough, and look what it led to. See if they can get it. Demski. Stop there. Great job in the butterfly by Ayantes. Sampi nowhere to go. Again, HV scored first in that last game, held the lead until the late stages of the third period. Rubitus, a slap shot, blocked by his own man. Madalaiska was feeling that one. Chance there for Vody, trying to drive. Bit too much traffic. Puck sent up to Rubitus. Trouble there, runs into his own defender. Should be able to recover. 4 minutes to play now in the first period of, dare I say, who knows how many. Rubitus all over the place here in this first period. Demski able to keep that puck alive. Good job to shield it. Slap shot off a leg in front. Rubitus trying to drive again to the front of the goal, and a bit too much traffic there, but we are seeing the willingness to throw more pucks on. Nordsman to Alexa. Tries to find Limu. Trouble there. Madalaiska able to get that one over to Demski. And hold on to it. Shot. Rebound. And a loose puck recovered by Vody. Dangerous moment. Final 10 seconds of the first period here. Rubitus knocked off by the back pressure. Good step up hit there. And that will bring us to the end of the first. A little bit of an extra moment there at the end. Sim will get a look at the opening goal one more time by Demski.
Yeah, it's just probably not going to get the best angle on it, but you can kind of see what happened there as he just sort of guided that one into the net through the 5-hole after Ayantas sort of stood up from his butterfly right there. And just such an odd play. You can see right there, it was Nordsman who was trying to guide the puck away, and it somehow bounced right to Demski's stick and just slid it home, and HV71 have the lead. And in this case, they're out technically. I mean, it's very, very close, but technically have the more time on attack than Roots has so far. But And it's, as we know well and good, I mean, time on attack only means so much. And in this case, both teams playing pretty even, but HV71 with the advantage on that score sheet. And now it's really, Roots has got to kind of be, you know, doing a bit of soul searching here. You know, what's going on? Why aren't they able to score? What happened between now and, you know, that H-Red series where they're not able to generate some of these chances? They're on the back foot even more, like, you know, than they were kind of in that series, at least chance-wise. You know, time and attack's one thing, but I feel like they're getting quite a few better looks sometimes against H-Reds here. So I think HV71's doing a good job of, you know, limiting their big rush opportunities. Then that's kind of making Roots hesitate, so that HV71 can set up the trap as well and not allow them to even cross their blue line when they try to do resets and stuff like that. So very good job here, but now's a chance. Bit of an odd man.
What Roots can do, again, trying to get that tying goal, certainly a little bit faster than they did in the prior game. That shot stopped by Kofalainen. Again, using that quick shot to get the puck out. Demski has the puck down low. Scored the last 2 goals for HV. Eliska, and a rebound is there again. It's another goal. Demski in front finds a loose puck off of one of the most bizarre plays. Sin, I didn't think we could top the first goal. Another bizarre goal. It's a 2-0 HV lead.
Yeah, trying for that weird kind of slap shot wraparound thing that we saw Nikki Dangle score off of in that H-Reds Roots matchup. It just sort of bounces out front, almost looking like a slap pass straight to Demski, and he puts that one home. HV71, 2-0 over Roots Gaming.
Just an incredibly bizarre goal there, and again, Sin mentioned it, that idea of the slap shot from the goal line. Well, once more we see, and we've seen this quite a bit this season in the Elite Division, proper positioning can result in fortunate bounces coming your way. And oftentimes great scoring chances as a result. We've seen that twice from Demski. You can argue skill, you can argue luck. The result is the same. And a 2-0 lead for HV71. And what I'd imagine is a very rare occasion this season for them to have a 2-goal lead. Talk about how big today was for them to get points on the board. They have 2 already. What could 1 or perhaps even 2 more do for the sake of their season? Lexa just couldn't shake off Puta King, but a penalty is called, and a great window of opportunity opens for Roots. A slashing call against Puta King, and Roots Gaming going to the power play.
This is about as big of as much score situation as I have seen in this series so far for Roots Gaming. They got to get something. They have to get some sort of momentum. They've been struggling to break it in at the blue line. They get an offensive zone draw right here. They got to sustain. Unfortunately, not able to win the faceoff. It goes directly out. That'll make their re-entries just that much more harder and have a lot less time on that clock now.
They lose puck here. A foot race for it. Goes around the back of the goal, and Roots still in possession. Vody goes to Nordsman at the point. Quick set of passes. Limu, one-timer. Great read and clearance by Rubitus. Down to 40 seconds on this man advantage.
Flexing those old defensive muscles is Rubitus right there and making an incredible read to almost again, but absolutely destroys Vody.
Final 10 seconds of this power play. Limu over to Nordsman. Got to be aware of the man coming out of the box. Great job there by HV on the kill. Almost halfway through the second period. Sampi with the puck. Shot on, and an easy save for Kofalainen. Saw it the entire way.
Yeah, and HV71 just slowly but surely kind of wearing down Roots, it seems, in this one. And I'm not going to say panicking quite yet, but you can kind of definitely feel the tension coming out from Roots right now. Being down by 2 about midway through the second period. The game is about half over here.
And a goal! I was going to wait to see what your reaction to that was. Sampi with a snipe and a half. Glove side on Kofalainen, and Roots are right back in this one. Sin, what a shot that was.
Absolutely brilliant shot from a guy who needs to get on the scoreboard. I thought it was safe to continue making that point. It looked like a good face-off for HV71 to clear the zone, but as we've seen from bounces, a lot can happen, and Sampi gets that one in the slot, rips that home on the far side, and Roots are back within one, and now maybe HV71 feel a little bit of pressure right now.
Madalaiska, second chance there, shoveled on net, doesn't go. Sputakin can't hold that one onside. The twist of the tail that is now a 2-1 lead for HV71. As Sin mentioned, a great shot there by Sampe, just his second goal of the season. Entered play today at a half a point per game pace, which is not quite where anybody wants to be. Just over 8 minutes here, Roots back in on the attack. Limu shot, saved by Kofalainen. King able to get that one up to Madalaiska. Good hit there. Stop that breakout at the blue line. A little bit of contact. No interference. No icing, though, either as a result. Let's see what Roots can do. Again, within one. Here's Limu. Little toe drag. Down low for Sampi, the goal scorer. It was a great shot from him to get this back to within one. Here's Vodi trying to cut in. Nowhere to go. The skate of Rubitas, 5 minutes to play. And here's Rubitas one more time. Zupe looking, shot on rebound, couldn't sweep that one home. It's again struggling to gain the line cleanly. Broken plays leading to success for both sides. Here's Madalaiska. That one bounces over, and shockingly, it's the one time Demski doesn't win that loose puck battle.
Yes, I mean, I got to keep crediting HV71 for doing it, but their blue line play has just been phenomenal here. Roots just looking for other looks there as they try another kind of shot from the net, and no fortuitous bounce outside that time.
And we're going to have a penalty called, charging, I'd imagine. Indeed, it's going to be Madalaiska to the box, and again, that's unfortunate as it counts the amount of steps you take even before your arms are up to go for the hit, essentially punished for reacting to the fact that a checking opportunity developed. That's a tough break.
That is a tough break right here about Roots with another very, very big opportunity. They got no shots on the previous power play. We'll see what they do with this one.
Here's Nordsman trying to dish it down low. Limu back to him. Nordsman couldn't get the shot off. Demski has one man to beat. Breakaway, scores! It's another goal for Demski. Short-handed, and HV71 regain the 2-0 lead. What a performance by the captain.
Wow. He has just been phenomenal here. Captain leading by example. I believe that'll bring him up to 8 goals or maybe 7 on the season. He came in today with 4. I think that's his 4th today, if I'm not mistaken. Or
it is, yeah, the hat-trick goal there.
Wow, he is just unbelievable effort by him, and that's what it's going to take to turn this season around for HV71. Someone stepping up, taking the reins in their hands, and kind of forcing the issue here, and that was Demski right there. And look at them continuing to look for these counterattacks now as Roots definitely feeling on the ropes a bit.
Doubling your goal output on the season. Good way to jumpstart your team towards trying to avoid that automatic relegation spot. We'll see now what Roots are able to do. Sin mentioned it. They've been on a bit of a slide, a bit of a losing streak. And giving up a shorthanded goal at the end of the second period, certainly not what they were looking for. We'll get another look at that breakaway shorthanded goal for Demski.
It's a nice job right there, just kind of holding on the backhand, making the goalie make the first move right there. And it wasn't a big move. Yantes didn't really cheat over, but you know, it's as a goalie, it's so hard to move laterally against players coming in with speed. Had he tried to cut over to that far side, you know, Yantes could have been beat like that. So that's why you kind of saw him correct a little bit to that angle. But, you know, it was just Demski waiting him out just long enough to put that one home on the backhand. And what a moment that was for him, as you even saw, I think, maybe even could argue that Vodi right there is maybe even trying to take a trip before he crossed the blue line, but after that kind of let up with the stick a bit. And, you know, obviously not wanting to risk the penalty shot here, but you got to, if you're Roots, you got to be a little bit stunned here. This is the team that was in the basement, and you were at the beginning of the season in a playoff position. You have playoff aspirations. You've been on a skid. Here's your chance to get back into things. You've dropped the first game. You're down by 2 here in the third period in this second game. It's time to turn it on.
This power play will end here. We are back to 5-on-5. Again for Roots, down by 1. You get that power play chance. Give up a shorthanded goal. Here's Lexa, though, with a little bit of space. Toe drag shot. A little bit of shock on the toe drag. Certainly no Oz. He wasn't able to bury that one. Kept in here by Rubitus. Back down low. Madalaiska dropped by Nordsman. Good pass here between the legs. Nowhere to go. Again, we called them out. 2 of the most physical teams in the Elite Division so far this season. A trip is called. HV71 to the power play as Limu will go to the box here and just, a very rough time to poke.
Yeah, and that I think is a bit of a frustration right there, as he had a man in front of him and probably didn't want that man in front of him. Obviously, as they're trying to send, more guys on the attack, they might get caught a little bit like that, and HV71's trying to capitalize on that on the counterattack. They give that up, and as expected, Roots is going to try to go for the shorty opportunity. Shot
on, paddled away by Kofalainen. At very least for HV again. Right now, that clock is their friend. This one's sent all the way down. Already halfway through this power play. See what HV can do. Able to gain the line cleanly. A penalty called. Buda King was tripped. Well, they need it. Glove save. Dangerous moment there with a player cutting in front. It'll be 35 seconds of a 5-on-3 as Nordsman took Buda King down at the blue line.
Yeah, that's a rough trip right there, but that's what happens when the pressure's on, and it was a nice job to take the shot there. Either you're going to get a chance out of it or force someone to touch it, and that's what we see here. 35 seconds of 5-on-3 time for HV71.
Big face-off win by Alexa, trying to clear, pressured by the forwards. Madalaiska couldn't get it over to Azupe. Rubitus back to him. One-timer doesn't go. Loose puck, Yantez. Just able to squeeze the legs to keep it out. And unfortunately, I mean, the defender there on the 1T tried to catch the goalie, committing, but the goalie reaction was a little bit late and honestly benefited him.
It was, and I think when you're down that low, in the offensive collapse right there, you often usually shoot to that to that short side instead, because it's less time for the goaltender to react, and you get better accuracy in that close, but maybe a bit of habit right there, or just expecting Yantez to correct. But you said it, that side of the net was wide open.
6 minutes gone in the third. 35 seconds remaining now on the power play. It's 5-on-4. Bouncing puck. Vode looking, couldn't get the shot through. Good look, though. Good short-handed bids here for Roots. We are back to 5-on-5. Great job on the kill. Intercepted by Nordsman. Out of the box. Breakaway. Denied. Kofalainen makes the save. Puck still alive for Roots, at least momentarily. This one sent all the way down. What a chance that was for Nordsman, as we have an icing call with 12:12 on the clock.
What a save by Kofalainen. Like a cat, he slid over to the right-hand side to rob Nordsman there, and just at the last possible moment to make that save, he did that. That is massive for Kofalainen. And a 2-on-1 now for HV71.
Nordsman makes a mistake. Shot, rebound. Still there off the side of the goal. Electing to shoot the puck there. And a big save by Yantez in response. Roots down by 2, halfway through this third period, in danger of losing, we believe. We could get a clarity check on this, but we believe their 6th game in a row. Limu's shot denied, and we'll have another face-off in the attacking zone.
Yeah, I think it'll at least be that, because they would have had the 3-0-1 start to the season, so it depends on when that OT loss came through. But yeah, you said it. I mean, to have the potential to lose 6 in a row if you're Roots is just not at all what you want to see.
Shot there. Again, a bit too much traffic. Zupe able to handle that one. 71 trying to get going down the other way. Madalaiska for Zupe. The shot glove save. Flashing the leather. Yantez keeping this game alive.
Yeah, and HV71, their mentality has gotten better and better and better as this series has kind of gone on. They're looking more comfortable, and especially they're looking confident right now, and that's kind of leading them to pull the trigger a bit more, as you saw from Zupe right now. You never know what'll happen. See if he does it here.
That shot just doesn't find its way through. Can indeed confirm 5 losses in a row for Roots. They're dropping both games to H-Reds and Sawo Esports. Of course, the triple overtime loss to HV71 that kicked off this broadcast. 6:45 to go, and a timeout will be called. HV71 the advantage in shots. That certainly wasn't the case in our first game.
It absolutely was not, and that's where I kind of spoke on. I think their confidence levels just shooting up and being more willing to pull the trigger instead of looking for those perfect opportunities, and that can be tough to do sometimes. Sometimes it seems simple to shoot the puck, but when things aren't going in, you start second guessing almost every single move you make, and you're like, oh well, maybe I should have passed it right there. You lose confidence in yourself, you lose confidence in your ability to score, and I think we're starting to see HV71 get that belief in themselves. Just to that, little extra level. They picked up that first win. They're on the brink of getting that second one here, perhaps turning this season around at least to get themselves out of that relegation position.
Yeah, crucial face-off here. Perhaps Roots able to gain possession. And they make the most of it, though, as the clock continues to tick. Puck down below the goal line. Good pressure on the forecheck. HV71 at least able to get it out of the zone. Won't have enough on it to go down for icing. They try the quick response down the other way. Dupe was able to pick it off. Here's Demski. Has all 3 goals for his club in this one. Rubitas back to him. Muscled off the puck. Sampi at least able to get it out. 4 minutes to go now for Roots. Down by 2 once more. Big hit there. Lexa completely floored and down injured. That went off the side of the goal. Lexa back to his feet. Has regathered his stick. And has the puck here at the point. Nordsman passes in front, bouncing around. They try the quick out. Recovered by Arubatus. Poked away, though, for the moment. Budaking shot deflection. Yantes with a big save. He'll play it out. Smart move, perhaps, with 1.5 minutes to go. So Arubatus, the big interception. Puck bouncing around. Lone goal in this one for Sampi. He wasn't able to get that shot off. Has it here again. Intercepted. Bouncing around and Kopalainen with a clutch moment there. Diving in to cover the puck.
Yeah, 50.3. Still time to get 2 goals, but they're going to need a quick one as that was a massive collision cutting across the ice. Sort of Scott Stevens-esque and just completely destroying the captain Lexa right there for Roots. So he will be shaken up. And that might affect him a little bit on these final moments in this game.
Off the draw, the tie-up here. Sampe shot glove save. Kopalainen. And Sin, how much longer can they go without risking pulling the goaltender? I'd argue now's a good time. You might as well go for it.
I might as well, but it seems, oftentimes teams here in the high level 6s opt to not pull that goaltender. Another shot from Sampi just goes wide.
Short side bid as well. Nearly shoveled in by Limu. Good forechecking pressure. Lexa shot. Second chance saved by Kopalainen one more time. Matalaiska gets it to Demski. 30 seconds to go. Demski. Oh, if it was an empty net, that one would have been in. He gets it back at center ice after the goalie clear. Vodi able to handle it. 20 seconds to go now. Great job by Zupe to take it away. Can't get the out. He does now. HV71 entering play today at 0-6-2 through their first 8 games. They're going to pull off the double against Roots, who are going to lose their 6th in a row. HV71, the 3-1 lead, the 3-1 win. What a performance by them today, led by Captain Demski with the hat trick here in the second game.
And I got to give a huge shout out to Kopalainen, who throughout this series just was absolutely phenomenal. Made the saves when the pressure came in, never really seemed to be out of position. Just the clutch saves he made. The few there at the end when Roots were making a big push, but especially that Nordsman breakaway. Coming out of the box, intercepts it. That, in my opinion, was kind of the big turning point right there as Kopalainen turned that breakaway aside. At that point, it was a pretty good feeling that HV71 weren't going to drop that game with the captain Demski leading offensively as he did and Kopalainen making some huge clutch saves when he was called upon. HV71 getting their first 2 wins on the season to start to climb their way out of the basement. It's going to be a long way back to the top, but if they lost these 2 here, fell to 0 wins out of 10 games, their season was pretty much over. Right? Right now, though, there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. Might be just a little pinprick, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll see how they chase that as the season goes on.
A big day for them. You mentioned Kofalainen, 2 save percentages, I believe a 955 and a 917 after entering play today with a 725. So needless to say, that save percentage just absolutely skyrocketed. An incredible performance for a team that desperately needed it. And for Roots, again, a lot of things now to figure out moving forward after dropping series. 3 straight series, I should say, now to H-Red, Sawo, and HV71. Sin, we've said it a few times already, and it's only week 2 of the season. The twist to the tale of what will be remembered for this season, unpredictable at every possible step, are these matchups. With that, everybody, we are running a little bit behind schedule, so we will send it now over to our intermission coverage and a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back in a few moments for our second series of the day, Havu Gaming and Granite Gaming. Again, what twist of the tail will we see here between 2 teams, certainly with playoff aspirations at the very least? We'll find out. We'll be back in a few moments. Stick with us.